Hello, Joe here from Infiniti of Tacoma. Today I'm going to tell you about this awesome 2022 Kia EV6 Wind all-wheel drive that we have for sale. The Kia EV6 is Kia's first purpose-designed from the ground up EV vehicle. There has been other EVs in Kia's lineup. I think the Niro EV to name one, and then I think they had the Kia Soul EV, but those are all EVs based off of gas car platforms. So when you take a gas vehicle and you retrofit it to be an electric vehicle, it's not always going to be the greatest synergy, it's not going to be the greatest execution versus designing something from the ground up to be an EV, because they might look somewhat similar on the outsides, but when you look underneath, EVs are so completely different than gas cars. You build them completely different. And this thing is one of the newest, hottest EVs on the market. It's basically very similar to the Hyundai Ioniq 5. I think that was Car and Driver's EV of the Year. Very well received by the automotive press. And then Genesis also has an EV based on the same platform. Obviously a little bit styling, a little bit more upscale because it's a Genesis brand. But mechanically, or I should say electronically, they're all similar. The nuts and bolts, the batteries, the electric motors, the infotainment systems are very similar in all of them. For the most part, what's different about them is the styling and option packages. The EV Wind all-wheel drive, the EV6 Wind all-wheel drive, which this one is kind of the more upscale trim level. It's not a base model. It's very nicely equipped. Any of the Kia EV6s are very well equipped. These are kind of more priced to be premium luxury vehicles. When you're buying these vehicles, they're going to be in a similar price point as compared to gas vehicles like BMWs and Mercedes-Benz C-classes and stuff like that. So you expect, fit and finish features to be comparable, and I certainly say so. These things are very, very impressive. You have this beautiful perforated synthetic leather interior, very comfortable, wireless charging pad. You have lots of parking cameras, great for low-speed maneuvering, nice, easy to use shifter. So basically put your foot in the brake, you just go over that way for drive, you have neutral, and then you have reverse, and you hit P for putting it in park. You also have a hold assist, electronic parking brake. You have heated, ventilated front seats. When you get the all-wheel drive version of the Wind EV6, they also add a heated steering wheel, multi-zone climate control. Obviously when this has navigation, we have a parking camera, 360 overhead camera, great for low-speed maneuvering. And look at this is pretty cool. You have a 360-degree view around the whole vehicle. And it's a really cool looking vehicle. Kia did a great job styling the EV6. It's absolutely beautiful on the inside and outside. Very comfortable seats. Nice leather up steering wheel. You have a lane keep assist, adaptive cruise control, blind spot warning, obviously forward collision warnings, things like that. This is your drive mode selector, so you have sport, normal, and eco. We have also these shifters right here. These look like paddle shifters. Actually, these control the regenerative braking, and that's something that I guess probably, talking about EVs, most people looking at the EV6 is probably going to maybe compare it to the Ioniq 5. A little bit different styling, but you'll probably also compare it to the Tesla. And this is probably the most similar to the Tesla Model 3 or Model Y. We have lots of Teslas here at Infiniti Tacoma. I actually own a Tesla myself, a Model 3. And it's not all about getting to which EV is better. I think the whole idea of having electric vehicles is the whole key here. I'm a career car person. I'm 42. I've been in the car business since I was 15. Me just experiencing and driving all these EVs, to me, and this is my opinion, but I think they're superior in almost every way to gas cars, and I think these are the future. And it's not me driving down the road being smug and like, I don't want to be part of the problem. I want to be part of the solution. I don't want to pollute. Well, EVs can still pollute because it depends on where you get power from. But that's not the main reason why I like EVs. Obviously, a nice benefit is, no tailpipe emissions, but it's how smooth they are. If you think about it, gas engines, they're almost archaic. You're getting propelled by a vehicle with this little metal thing in the front, having little teeny explosions to make you go forward. It seems kind of archaic. We spent 100 years perfecting the internal combustion engine. I think we've pushed the technology really as far as it can go, and now we are ready to transition to EVs. So much smoother. You don't feel the transmission shifting. You don't feel the vibrations from the engine. Acceleration is unbelievable. This is not, per se a performance vehicle, but from you know, stoplight drag strip, you know, drag strip race, you're gonna, you know, out accelerate a lot of performance vehicles. This thing flies, it has all-wheel drive, it just grips and goes, and the linear acceleration, the way it pushes you in your seat, it's very entertaining. You know, talking about luxury, I mean, for me, you know, it's not just, you know, how pretty the interior is and how things feel and look, but it's also the driving experience. And for me, the driving experience of an electric vehicle, how smooth and how quiet it is, that's a luxury aspect to me. And this thing is very well put together. They did a great job. All right, so I'm kind of rambling on. So we have these paddle shifters for regenerative braking. So basically what that does is when you pull these paddle shifters, it reverses the polarity of the electric motor, so it turns into a generator. So it slows the vehicle down, so it brakes the vehicle, but it's also like recapturing that kinetic energy normally used through braking, and it puts it back into the batteries, making it more efficient and increasing the range. And the thing about the EV6 that some people might not like about Teslas is Tesla, you know, you can't really modulate the regenerative braking. You can go on the screen, you can say reduce it or increase it, but you can actually use these shifters to do the regenerative braking. So when you take your foot off the throttle in a Tesla, it's going to naturally start slowing down and doing that aggressive regenerative braking. Not the case of this. It kind of feels more like a regular gas car. You're kind of coasting along. But if you want to slow down, you can use these shifters right here, and that will activate the regenerative braking, slowing you down and helping save energy. So this thing only has 66 miles on it, so it's pretty much in brand new condition. Hardly a mark on it. Not exactly sure why the person got rid of it. Maybe, you know, they realized it wasn't for them. They want to go back to gas cars. Maybe they got a good deal on it. The car market's really hot right now for EVs, so maybe they were able to make a little bit of money on it by flipping it. You're never sure exactly what happened, but I can tell you it's 66 miles. It's a one owner clean Carfax vehicle, and it's, you know, virtually new. So this thing is absolutely beautiful. And even though it's not the biggest vehicle in the world, on the outside, just the way it was developed, you know, you kind of have a little bit more of a clean slate design with an EV, because you're not hampered by all the things that would, you know, reduce interior space on a gas car, like a transmission tunnel and drive shafts. You have a completely flat floor where the battery's underneath. And look at all this interior space. I'm 6'2". I have lots of legroom and headroom back here. Very comfortable. And the cool thing about the EV6, even though they kind of considered a crossover, it's not quite as high up as Model Y. You're a little bit higher up than Model 3. So you have a little bit lower center of gravity for a little bit sportier handling, and you also have this lift back. Obviously you have a lift back on a Model Y, but with a Model 3 you just have a regular trunk, so you're able to fold down the seats for a lot of cargo space. A little bit extra space under here. We don't have spare tires anymore. We have these tire inflator kits just because the spare tires are big, they take up a lot of space, they take up a lot of weight. So you have an inflator kit, or you just get roadside assistance if you have a flat these days. The styling is really cool too. Like the little things they do here and there are really nice. You have this kind of spoiler up here, or air deflector. I don't know if it's functional. It looks like it might be functional. Then you have another spoiler here, kind of contrasting patterns and colors and stuff like that. A little bit more going on with this than the Tesla. You know, I do love my Tesla. I'm not ready to trade it in for this, as cool as I think this is. But not everyone is all about Teslas. Teslas are kind of very homogeneous and plain in the inside. And on the outside, this has a little bit more going on to it. And if you're not looking to make a huge transition to like a Tesla, because using a Tesla is like using it's like a smartphone on wheels. You have to use the screen for the majority of the functions. You know, having this is kind of a little bit more of an easier transition if you're going from a gas car to an EV. If you don't want to have a huge learning curve, this will be a lot easier for you to make that transition with. So here you have some storage for your EV cable. And then this is obviously serviceable stuff for the vehicle, you know, coolant, wiper fluid, brake fluid, things like that that they would need to access for servicing. There's the low voltage battery right there. EVs still require low voltage batteries for the 12 volt electrical system. The high voltage battery provides the power, you know, to drive the wheels, but you still need a low voltage battery to operate the accessories and infotainment system. So that's surprising, but yeah, you still need those regular old car batteries that you find in your cars, and EVs, even Teslas still have them. So there we have it, one beautiful EV6. We can arrange shipping just about anywhere in the US. Contact us for more information. We sell out of state pretty regularly, and if you happen to be in Washington or Oregon, we have complimentary shipping to Washington and Oregon, so we can put this in our car hauler, print up all the paperwork, and this beautiful EV6 could be all yours, potentially without leaving your neighborhood or even your driveway. Contact us for more details, and thanks for taking the time today to watch this video.